When digital recording took over from analog tape, at first people celebrated the cleaner sound and freedom from tape hiss, but pretty soon they realized that they were missing the warmth and edge that analog media, with all its imperfections, contributed to the sound. Older tube equipment that had been relegated to the trash heap made a dramatic resurgence, and the sound of analog tape was no exception to this trend. With the advent of digital modeling technology, it became possible to emulate not just the sound, but also the dynamic response of analog hardware. Tubes, transistors, and transformers were modeled successfully in software, but for a long time the distinctive character of tape, with its subtle, soft saturation, eluded the makers of virtual processors. But eventually they got the hang of it, and virtual tape emulations and effects became a viable option for those craving that classic sound, even while staying in the box. One early emulation of tape saturation was Heat, a digital processing option originally for hardware-based Pro Tools systems that was applied to all audio tracks, simply offering the sound of tape as it would be if recording on a real analog multitrack. As native processing became more powerful, numerous plugins were developed in all the major plugin formats that emulated the sweet sound of tape, and they're very popular today. There are quite a few options available. Wave's J37 and Real ADT plugins both specifically emulate the Studer J37 4-track recorders used at Abbey Road Studios on classic Beatles albums, and their Kramer Master Tape plugin models Ampex 350 and 351 recorders used by noted engineer Eddie Kramer on numerous records. Avid's Real Tape Suite emulates both tape saturation and tape-based effects. Slate's VTM models multitrack and stereo machines, plus the difference between two different tape formulations. Universal Audio's powered plugin arsenal includes emulations of the classic Ampex ATR 102 stereo recorder and the Studer A800 multitrack, both mainstays in the later years of the analog era. And various less machine-specific virtual tape simulations also include models of tape, along with other virtual circuits like tubes, transistors, and transformers. When using these plugins, it's important to make sure that they're fed with appropriate audio levels to make sure the subtle character is as realistic as possible. Plenty of plugins also emulate popular tape-based effects units. Avid's Stompbox collection, part of their complete plugin bundle for Pro Tools, includes a full-featured model of the Maestro Echoplex. Though it lacks a photorealistic plugin window, Soundtoys Echo Boy plugin offers emulations of both tape and several tape-based delay effects, along with a comprehensive panel of controls to tweak the models even further. Even built-in effects like Logic's tape delay offer user controls to add the character of tape to the delays, including user-adjustable settings for saturation and even simulated wow and flutter. Of course, greater familiarity with the analog originals will help DAW users get the most out of these plugins, many of which offer numerous controls for fine-tuning the character of their tape emulations. So it seems like virtual tape is here to stay, and the analog era lives on in one form or another. And on that note, we've come to the end of the course. I'll wrap up briefly in the next and last video.